I'm Brian Moran, founder of Government CIO. Welcome to Government CIO Magazine.
Hi, this is Hillary Wax for Government CIO Magazine. Today I'll be interviewing Roger Baker, the Assistant Secretary for Information and Technology at the Veterans Affairs.
We've had a lot of them, but clearly there's one that stands out, and that's the transformation of our systems development organization. In 2009, we were meeting about 30% of the milestones that we set out in delivering systems for internal customers, and we deliver about 300 major releases of system changes during a year. In 2011, we moved that to 89%, and it's similar in 2012. Now that's a $1 billion systems development organization. It's 4,000 people, and it's been a radical transformation of the way that we do systems development and our ability to really meet the commitments that we make to our customers. It's just been huge. So I think I'd focus on three. We talked a little bit about systems development, and that really has been transformational because of all the discipline that it put into the organization. We are fanatical about committing to dates and making the dates that we commit to. And that then, it really goes throughout the organization as a way that we think about things. We also do the same now with our IT budget. We have a very detailed view of the amount of dollars we're spending in every area, the results we expect for every one of those dollars, and we're tracking whether or not the spending is on plan and whether or not the results are on plan to the spend. And then the third thing I would point out is our visibility into every device in our network. We're a huge enterprise, over 500,000 users every day on the network. And we're able to see all the devices on that network and track the security issues with that, the cost issues with that, and start looking at optimizations that we can do inside of our enterprise. So those things have been pretty transformational. I like to look at that visibility piece as kind of channeling Ronald Reagan, which is trust but verify. I trust that my people are going to report things right when we do a data call, but it's a lot better when I can verify it because I can see it electronically. I think the big one really is that focus on dates, focus on if you use incremental development, and you break all of your projects down into small deliverables, you tremendously reduce risk. You increase your probability that you will deliver on time, and you increase the amount that your customers can depend on you. If I had to point out a best practice that frankly should be used everywhere in government, that's the one that I would really point out. We have, I think I said 300 ongoing systems development projects right now. Every one of them sets its milestones at 6 months or less, and 90% of them meet those milestones. That's a track record that's hard to beat for either a private sector or a governmental organization, and it's one that I think we're finding other organizations looking at and saying they really need to transform the way they do systems development along those lines. Sure. The biggest one is what we're doing right now for our benefits organization. We're implementing an electronic benefit system that completely transforms their entire business process. So this is a business with a budget of about $3 billion a year to process the claims, and about $60 billion a year of claims that are being paid out to veterans with disabilities. The electronic transformation will completely change the way that organization works. Will allow them to take data in electronically, use only electronic data for processing the claims, do a high level of automation, and most critically, by 2015, eliminate the backlog of claims that we currently operate under as an organization. It's a huge transformation, and one that IT is just critical to. We could not have done this before implementing the IT transformations that we did in 2009 and 2010. But at this point, that system is out and moving into full production. Well, I keep coming back to the systems development process, and I think it is probably the most notable one. But if you think about it, some of the actions taken there were transformative beyond what they did with systems development. Within 60 days of coming into the position, we had stopped 45 of our most, if you will, wasteful projects. They were behind schedule, they were over budget. And the message that sent to the organization about our willingness to make the hard decisions, to decide, yes, we are going to stop 45 projects. It's not a lot of fun, but we have the authority, the backing, and the ability, the legal ability to stop all of those projects, sent a message that I think really still reverberates throughout both the IT organization and VA and possibly government as well. If you provide a CIO in a federal department with the authorities and the backing to make transformation occur, he or she will do that. They will use those authorities, and those transformations will have a massive positive impact, not just on the IT organization, but on the department as a whole and all the business processes of that department. I mean, that's something that I hope happens government-wide over the next 4 years as a result of what we've been able to show at the VA. Well, I mean, the easy answer to that is predictability. We're meeting nearly 90% of the milestones we set in project development these days. When we tell a customer that they will get something as of date certain, they can reasonably rely on getting it as of that date certain. And probably further, the discipline that it implements in the organization is important. You know that as a project manager, if you miss a date, you have an automatic engraved invitation to meet with the assistant secretary to discuss whether or not your project should continue. There's strong motivation in the whole project team, the government employees, the customer, the contractors, to avoid that meeting. I mean, I'm a nice guy. I suspect lots of people want to meet with me, but not in one of those meetings. Because what you quickly realize as a project manager is your project is in complete jeopardy in that meeting. I can, will, and have in the past decided that projects stop completely in those meetings. And I think when you come into the meeting, you may come in with the expectation of, well, this will be a little bit pro forma, and they're not. It goes where it needs to go from a description of the project, and we make the decisions that are necessary relative to what benefits veterans and what benefits taxpayers the most. It shows the entire organization that we will make the hard decisions necessary to run this organization, like a professional organization with all the disciplines and processes in place to make certain that we produce results for the dollars that we spend. It's a very, very important piece of the discipline that we run in the organization. Oh, wow. IT is a great profession. There are a lot of parts of IT where people view it as kind of creative, a little bit like the great painters sort of things. But most of IT really is about metrics. It's about measuring what things are going right and what things are going wrong and identifying ways to improve on the metrics. Or maybe as we tell our staff fairly frequently, good customer service is fixing a problem quickly after the customer experiences it. Great customer service is that the customer never had a problem. And so, focusing on how do you drive your culture towards great customer service? How do you identify where problems might occur and make those go away before the customer ever has to call the help desk? Is really the cultural change that we're working on inside of VA IT at this point. For the last 4 years, we've focused on becoming one of the best IT organizations inside the federal government. For the next 4 years, our focus is on how do we become the best IT organization in existence. It's a big goal. I think we met our first goal, which was that first 4 years. I think we can meet the second goal. We have all the authorities, all the disciplines, and all the people necessary to make that happen. We're a customer service organization, and I think that goes a long way towards mitigating the conflicts. So the question is, what's best for the customer? Now, the immediate customer for the VA IT organization are the administrations, the benefits administration, the cemeteries administration, and the health administration that provide services directly to veterans. But clearly, we're all here to serve the veterans. And so if you really bring it back to what we're here for that customer service aspect, you really help resolve the conflicts that are there. And people will ask, why are you doing this? And if you take those customer service aspects along with our responsibility to the taxpayers to make certain that we're spending the dollars wisely, you can pretty much get to agreement on what the end objectives are. And now you're talking about how are we going to reach those objectives. It really helps, I won't say it gets rid of all conflicts. You still get to have some discussions occasionally about conflicting goals or conflicting approaches, but it really goes a long way towards making those conflicts productive discussions versus he said sort of things. The staff really likes change. Everybody comes to work at the VA every day to serve veterans. And if you're focused on making certain that the changes that you're driving are to help serve veterans better, you're going to find a lot of adoption of those changes amongst the staff. Some of them aren't easy. We've done things, to change the IT organization that required a lot of work throughout our organization. Now, we've got 8,000 IT people inside the organization. There are things that we've asked them to do that have required a lot of nights and weekends, to get them done. But when they can see why they're doing them and what the benefit is for the real reason they show up to do their job, you get very, very good compliance and very good cooperation in getting those things done. Again, IT is a great profession. Everybody wants to do a great job. As part of it, that's why we start down this path as IT professionals. And if you can help folks see how what you're doing is going to help them do a better job in serving their customers, they're pretty willing to make that culture change. So I think we're very focused now on operations as an IT organization. We really have made big changes in the areas that were most problematic when we came in, and those were along the lines of systems development, information security and visibility to all the security aspects of the system, and financial controls. We're now on to something which is, frankly, in the first 4 years, we said that's really not an issue for us, which is just the operational metrics and excelling in the operational results of the organization. And so a real focus on how do the best IT organizations in the world run their operations, and what are we doing to meet or exceed those approaches is where we're headed at this point. It's going to get very, very interesting because I think it will cause us to do more and more things that are new and different from the way that most federal organizations approach what they do. And that's what makes the job fun. We have the authorities and the structure inside of VA to do those things. We need to make certain that we're using those authorities and structures to just do a better job every day. And I think we have over the last 4 years, and we'll continue to do that over the next 4 years. I think everybody inside of our organization is pretty proud of what's been accomplished over the last 4 years. There's been a lot of work. I mean, the number of hours, would be in the millions relative to the transformation. It's 8,000 people that have decided that they just want to do a better job for our customers and for veterans, and doing that requires a lot of discipline, requires a lot of changing the way that we work. We have a great staff in the IT organization at VA. It's very dedicated, and it does a great job for our customers every day. And so, probably the final piece of this is to thank them for all the great work they've done, but recognize that we come to work every day with the question of, what have you done for me lately? And so the next 4 years is going to be more interesting than the first 4 years.